Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Project 52. Today I'm excited. We got Makayla Lynn.
Hi.
Straight from Canada. She came all the way down here to do this show. No,
yeah.
Actually, she's living here now, so.
I'm kind of back and forth between the two places a bunch lately, so it's great. I love being here.
You're working on that transition. Makayla Lynn is an award-winning songwriter and entertainer. She just won Entertainer of the Year up in Nova Scotia. It's like she's the youngest one to earn that award.
I don't know how it happened, but that's another story.
It's flat out. You're just really talented and been.
Thank you.
You're great, and I'm blessed to be able to write with you. And what else was I going to say? Oh, you recently moved here, so now it's like coming from the little pond being the big fish. Do you feel that way?
It kind of, totally. I think everybody feels that way, like when you're coming. Because at the beginning of this year, I got myself a little like apartment rental. I got myself like a 6-month lease. Yeah. And I'm not technically moved here yet, but I'm just kind of going back and forth, and now that I have the place, I can come back and forth and just be here whenever I feel like it. But
baby steps.
It totally is, and it's crazy to me how quickly in the last little bit of just coming back and forth, like how I was saying, how quickly your circle grows, like how it's amazing to me. Like you start off with just like a few close writers that you write with, and then they introduce you to a few more each time. And now I feel like it's so great because I can always think of somebody to, throw into my schedule when I'm trying to book writes. And it's a wild thing. It's a lot of time consuming stuff, but it's great.
And you're writing with some big hit writers, and I know Marcus Hummin is taking you
Marcus.
under his wing. Yeah. And you have a single out that you wrote with him, right?
Yeah, him and I, it was so crazy. We had written just a couple songs, and at the beginning of this year, we went into the studio, and I just basically asked him, I'm like, what do you think of the idea of us just going in? You can get a bunch of players, and we can go in and just record some of the stuff. And we ended up just liking how they were turning out, and one of them, we were like, why don't we just put this out while we can? Like, I'm not tied to anybody yet, and I'm still completely independent, so I'm just going to put it out and see what happens and give people something to listen to.
That song is called I'm Over You,
right? It is.
And it's what I really dug about it, and like I think we talked about this privately once, about like that's some of Mark's soft 70s rock seeping in there. Those melodies are just crazy good.
I remember the day we wrote that, because that song, it's got such strange like chord progressions happening in the chorus and stuff, but that's kind of the reason I love writing with Marcus too, is because he gets me in totally different progressions and stuff like that I'd never think of. But I remember when we first wrote it, I was so unsure about the song. I just like written it, and then I went home and I'm like, here Mom, listen to this, like let me know what you think. And I'm like, I think it's cool, I'm not really sure. And she's like, I can't get it out of my head. She's like, I love that. And I trust my mom's opinion so much. She's got a great ear.
How is it doing so far? So it's on Spotify.
It's great. I put it just like digitally. I released it to all the streaming platforms and everything, and it got itself on a couple little playlists on Spotify, and just like something to give people to listen to, especially now that I'm like out during the summer playing festivals and stuff, and I want people to have something that's like recent to go listen to when they look me up.
And you need to be heard. I mean, that's kind of why you're here today. It's like I don't have this big super pull in the business, but at least I can introduce you to the people that I know.
It's great. And that's how it happens.
Yeah, and we do a live take here of something that we've written.
Oh yeah. I'm cool to try that.
You want to do this one?
I'll try it. So,
we wrote this song with a good friend of mine, Joe West. Joe West has always been very nice to me and very helpful, and I asked him if he wanted to write with Makayla one day.
Yeah, Troy was the one who introduced me to Joe.
We got that going, and
he is great.
On the way to the right, for some reason, I heard somebody saying something like, well, just for the record, I want to make this clear, whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, for that the record, let's just see if we can do some of that. And then with your input into it, it's like we came up with something really cool.
Right, yeah. I was saying that about how I love, the reason that I love collaborating with new people all the time, like Joe, and so talented. Like these people are so crazy, but like he was able to come up with a different progression than I would have necessarily thought for a song like that, and that's what I loved about it.
It pushes you a little more.
It puts you outside of your box.
Challenges.
Yeah, totally does.
All right, everybody. This one's called For the Record. You want to count us off?
It. Let's do it.
All right.
1, 2, 3. I remember when I met you at Grammy record store. You had those tattoos and that smile I couldn't ignore. I crossed my heart and said I love you under my breath, but you fell apart. But I don't have one regret, 'cause I did it for the record. I let you spin me round and around like a turnstile stack with 45s. You picked me up and let me down. I did it so you pull me in, so you could feel my heart breaking. Yeah, I knew this song and dance wouldn't last forever, but just so you know, would have done it all for the record. Wouldn't trade one night crying on the turntable, one fight, one body shot to my soul for the high. I might not have ever known if this is goodbye. I just want you to know I did it for the record. I let you spin me round and around like a turnstile stack with 45s. You picked me up and let me down. I did it so you pull me in, so you could feel my heart breaking. Yeah, I knew this song and dance wouldn't last forever, but just so you know, would have done it all for the record. I did it for the record. I let you spin me around and around. I felt so alive for 305, but our time was running out. I did it so you pull me in, so you could feel my heart breaking. Yeah, I knew this song and dance wouldn't last forever. Oh yeah, and you know me, would've stuck around for worse or for better. Would've done it all for the record. Oh, for the record.
For the Record, Makayla Lynn, everybody.
Yeah.
You're so awesome. I love it. I
Thanks.
love your voice. It's just so it's very soothing. It's something I could listen to all day long.
It's just fun, honestly, for me to get to like play stuff that I've never even really played for anybody before.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I'm sure you feel the same way every time you do one of these. But yeah, it's just great to be able to sit down and play something that it's not the same songs that you're always used to playing live that
Yeah,
you've already
your
nailed
favorites.
down pat.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
something new and different. But
Speaking of that, like when we go out and play these rounds, there's a few that I play every time.
Yeah.
And then I get used to this certain amount. I got these 10 I'm going to pick from.
Right.
And then I don't challenge myself to do some of the new ones.
I
And
know,
I'm like,
I know. It's kind of lately I've been kind of feeling that, and I totally understand where you're coming from. And it's honestly like I've been keeping it kind of consciously in my mind that like every time I do a song circle or something, I've been like trying to at least once pull out something, even if I screw it up. Like, it's just a song circle, and people are there because they want to hear the raw, real
the
songwriting.
way that they're kind of written.
Yeah, and so I was like, every time that I've been doing them lately, no matter like where it is, if it's like a whatever listening room or if it's just a little Belcourt Taps thing or anything, I've been like trying to pull out something new that I haven't necessarily played yet, just to like see, because the only way you can really tell if the audience really digs it or not is just by trying it and seeing what happens. And it's been fun. Like, I kind of like
And then also, it's like, for me, it's this way, like, maybe that first time I don't play it perfectly, but the next time I play it, I'm not so intimidated by it being a new song.
It's so great.
And a couple of rounds later, it's in your set and you're perfectly comfortable with it.
I've kind of found that that's like the best way to get comfortable with all your songs, and that it just broadens all of your little catalog that you have to choose from when you're going into shows. It's like, oh, I've played that one a couple of times in different rounds. I could totally do this in a live show, and I'll just like pick from a bunch of them now, and it's really fun. I like getting to try that new stuff.
And then trying to get like do sing-alongs, get people to sing. Along.
And then you definitely start to learn like what songs you're able to do that with, and like what songs. For sure. Oh yeah, it's all about figuring that kind of stuff out. It's still so fun.
Hey, by the way, Makayla is the youngest award winner of the Nova Scotia Country Music Award. Is that it? But it's Entertainer of the Year. I mean, she got that when she was 17, and it's like...
It's crazy. I don't know how it happened. Yeah, it was like a fan-voted thing, and Music Nova Scotia has their awards every year, and they've been so kind enough to put me up for like in the nominations for a couple of them over the past couple years, and lately, like just the one that happened last year, it was fan voted, and I was like, you know what? If I have the opportunity to be in this category with these artists on the East Coast that I look up to so much, at first I'm like, how the heck am I even here? And then I'm like, if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna do my very best stab at making sure that I can like promote it as much as I can on my social media.
Well, you definitely can hang with all the veterans. You're I mean, I know you've been at this since you were what, 10? How long have you been playing guitar?
I think I started probably like writing my first songs or something when I was like 8.
Wow,
that's probably somewhere around there.
And then it's like, it's seeped into your soul, and it's become really what you do.
It's the only thing I know how to do, basically.
and you're very, very good at like just conveying the song. Sometimes when we've written, it's like, is this song good, or is she just so good that I think it's good? You know,
that's so sweet. Yeah, it's
true.
I've always found it funny, like the questions, because like different interviews, I feel like this question kind of comes up a lot when somebody asks you like, why is it music? Like, why did you choose music? Why is music the thing that you wanted to do with your life? And it's always the hardest thing for me to try and answer that question and get what I feel across in words, because it's like it's so difficult. I have such a hard time doing it, because it's just, I have to explain to people that music is like the only thing that I actually know how to do. Like everything else, I feel like I can fake my way through something, but music is like the thing that keeps me interested, like 24/7. If I only had this to do for the rest of my life, I'd be happy. Like,
I don't think any of the true song music lovers, I guess, we didn't choose it. It was there. Like, I have pictures of myself at 3 years old with a guitar.
I have those.
I just think it was something for me. There's a long story. Some of you have heard it, but it's like a record player that we had at home that was in the middle of our living room. That was the thing. And even before I knew what a guitar was, I would watch that record spin around, and I knew the music was doing something to me. You know? And then after that, I was like, can I get a guitar for Christmas?
You know? And then it escalates. It keeps going.
And you're right. It's just that one constant in our life. And
it never fails.
It can be a curse at times, because
it totally can be.
Yeah, it's like because you just sidetrack and go in your own direction with
I've had like friends before that'll like I'm just like texting back and forth with friends, and they'll say something, and I'm like, oh, that's a song idea. And I'm like, I could write that down. And I'm like, I'm so obnoxious for doing this, but it's like I try to hear everything as like some type of idea. If
you listen to the last Project 52 I did, which was episode 30, I wrote the song by myself called "Who You're Trying to Find."
Okay, yeah.
And it's about, like, you know, the people that push aside people as they're trying to be someone everybody else wants to be a part of. And then the second verse is about when you've pushed so far that now you've lost everybody
Oh yeah.
Around you, and now you're alone. So like, you know, don't get lost in who you're trying to find.
My mom and I have had a lot of similar conversations about it, because Nashville, especially, it's so the industry, and there's so many of us going after the exact same thing in this city. Like, there's so many of us, and the crazy thing that I've really had to remind myself of, and I think everybody would have to remind themselves of this when they're coming to Nashville and they're putting themselves in this place with so many young artists. It's like, you just can't try to be whoever's working right now, because it's like, we always go back to like the examples like Chris Stapleton and all of those artists that I look up to so much, because they spent so long before they were ever the cool thing to listen to, and they were still Chris Stapleton was still Chris Stapleton. He was still Chris Stapleton before all of his success and what's happening now. And it's so crazy to me, but I have to remind myself, like, I have to just stick with what I'm doing and hope that it sticks.
It doesn't mean like you don't like Kelsey Ballerini or Maren Morris, but it's
they all have their own thing.
You have an identity. Don't lose that.
Yeah.
You're you. You know,
I think that it can sound cheesy, but it's so true, especially in Nashville.
We're a mix of so many things. Like I was saying about I like soft 70s rock, like Bread and all that stuff. I always liked melodies. I always kind of gravitated more towards melody.
Yeah, me too.
Then a lot of time in the 80s spent trying to be Mr. Rock Guitar Man. You know, like,
go through the phases.
Yeah, I mean, and then I found myself a lot as I came here. And my friends and fans know that I've always liked to write music and make music. But once I got here, I really found myself and what I like about what I do. You know,
you, with social media and everything being so on everybody's demand, like, you can just get something whenever you want it.
First thing in the morning.
Like, that's to me is the gold mine about social media, especially for musicians and songwriters and artists, is like, we have the opportunity to put whatever we want out there whenever we feel like it. And that's like, even just that song, like, we can just put that out and see what people think of it. And it doesn't really matter if it's 2 people or 200,000 people that hear it, but like, somebody is going to get the chance to hear it, which is crazy.
Speaking of socials, where can people find you online?
Everywhere. Everywhere you want to find me.
You have a website?
Yeah, I do. My website is just my name, MakaylaLynn.com.
All your socials are on there. Instagram.
They're all there.
You do Snapchat.
The whole thing.
Do you do Twitter?
I do. I do kind of. I mean, I'm not great at it still. I mean, it takes a certain talent to be a good Twitter person. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit of everywhere, and it'll all be there.
Isn't that full-time work in itself?
Social media is a job.
Yes. Yeah. And they all have their little algorithms, so you can't use those auto posters like Buffer, because it'll know you're using it, and it suppresses your posts.
To me, lately, like, I've been going to some of these mentorship programs, and like CMT has been putting one on that I've been going to, and there's a couple different ones, and a lot of them have been talking about how important it is to understand like the algorithms behind each social media platform, and why certain ages and certain audiences are gravitating towards certain apps, and like how you can mold yourself to that. And it's so interesting, and it's a lot to think about, but I
think you do it well. It's just genuinely, hey, we're hanging out at the pool today, take a picture, write a little comment. That gets the most activity.
It's, you know? I've definitely, like, if there's any like tip that's really stuck with me, is like, it doesn't matter what it is that you are posting online, as long as whatever you're posting is authentic. It's like what's happening in the moment. It's you. It's what you would say. You're not like fixing how you would word something to mold it to what's working right now. Like, it's just got to be you. Like, it's just got to be exactly how you'd say it. So it's definitely interesting.
And people like to see a little bit into the personal life of an entertainer, a songwriter.
They want to see somebody that's real.
Oh, she's got a Yorkie just like me.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like pictures of my dog and us at the pool.
She gets flat tires too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, totally. But I love watching my favorite, you know, icons when they post like I don't want to say I love it, but I mean, I think it's so cool that they
Who are some of your favorites?
are even able to post
Who do you
like
follow
their failures
on Instagram and stuff?
Oh man, a little bit of everybody. I've been all over the place lately, even with the kind of music that I'm listening to as well. Like I've been loving kind of like the Americana side of things right now, like Brandy Carlisle and all of those kinds of people.
So close to the country.
Oh, it totally
stuff,
is.
You know?
Yeah, like if you like one, you most likely like the other. But I've been a little bit of everybody. I've loved Brandy's stuff. I love Brandy Clark too. I mean, she's great. It's been all over.
Do you know another just sidetrack when you mentioned Brandy Clark? So, do you know Ava Paige?
Yes, and so everything that she's going through right now.
I got a wristband. I'm going to give you that.
Oh yeah, no, I would love it. Yeah. That is, it's so. I just can't. I keep
Brandy
watching.
Brandy Carlisle came to. Was it?
I think Brandy Clark came to watch her. Yeah, I saw that the other day. I've been like online, kind of keeping
I
watch
mix them two
on the
Brandys
social
up
media.
all the time. Sorry.
Oh man, no, it's I've been watching that whole journey on social media
Ava's so
unfold,
talented too, and
it's just something that nobody ever deserves. Like it's
we just
insane.
Started hitting it off. Like we've seen each other and talked to her mom's around a lot, and we finally got to write in May. And then we had another one booked for July, and then she has to.
I feel like we were supposed to write at some point, maybe a couple months ago. Yeah. And for whatever reason, I wasn't in town or something fell through, and I'm like kicking myself. Like I'm like, man, I wish I had the opportunity just to get together with her, just to meet her and write with her. And I've seen videos and watched and listened, and she is incredibly talented. Yeah. And I just wish that all the best.
Yep, send up the prayers for her, and it's just she's a strong girl, and she can be feisty, and I know that she's like she's ready to give it everything and get back to where she needs to be. Yep.
Oh, totally.
And I just
to me is one of the great things that I've noticed about the Nashville community is like when somebody like Ava and like all kinds of these people that have had tragedies happen in their lives, like the music community is so loyal and so supportive. Like they reach out and they will give you the shirt off their back if you
whatever
need it.
we can do, I mean,
that's what I love about Nashville, really. Yeah, I've noticed it.
Well, I'm glad you're here because we can make more music together.
Yeah,
and you'll get that big record deal, and we'll be seeing you on the big award shows.
With any luck.
It isn't luck. You've got all the talent and all the goods. You're just so great about selling songs. So don't forget to check her out, MakaylaLynn.com. It's like Makayla.
Yep, that's it.
Got LA at the end of that, so don't move to LA though.
I'll stay here. I'll stay in Nashville.
And it won't be so far a drive back to Nova Scotia.
Yeah, that's true.
But check her out, and you'll probably see her in a round or two that I book when I'm out playing, and look for her new single, "I'm Over You." Yeah, play it on Spotify. I think you guys will really dig it.
Look at that.
Well, thanks for coming down here to My Blue Heaven studio.
This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Now we're gonna go do some work in the studio here. So, all right. So, bye.